We've just commentated on a ridiculous series involving New Zealand. They've, of course, beat India 3-0. Even saying it now, having commentated on the entire series, it still defies belief what the Kiwis managed to achieve. They're now still in the hunt for the World Test Championship final. They could get there with a 2-1 win, but a 3-0 win over England will pretty much guarantee their place in the final, right?
That would mean that they've never won a 3-0. They've never won 3-0 in a series ever before. They've never won 3 tests in a series before this, and they do it in back-to-back series. It would be a remarkable period of time if they... I'm not saying they can't do it.
Well, they had a similar run, didn't they, on the way to the 2021 World Test Championship final. We know the England squad, we know the New Zealand squad, we know the grounds, Christchurch, Wellington and Hamilton. What's your, I mean, not prediction, but, you know, considering England go there, fresh from defeat in Pakistan, it's going to be, obviously, 3 test matches played in conditions that are going to favour New Zealand. How do you see it going?
I thought New Zealand, the second time they played England, handled the Bazball about as well as anyone, perhaps even better than Australia did. There was a moment where Harry Brook got in their heads a little bit and they didn't know how to play against them. But in general, I think they're sort of understanding how to go about that. I still think they may be... I still wish they had Jamieson. Right? I wish he was fully fit. And, Sears, I've seen little bits of Sears, but I'm not quite... But if they had 4 strong fast bowlers... I'd be really, really interested in New Zealand winning that series 2-1, as you said, perhaps pushing towards 3-0. But without that, I find it's maybe going to be a little bit more, could go either way. The thing I don't know is what kind of pitches. Because the one kind of pitch that you don't really want to give to England at the moment is a flat pitch. And that's what New Zealand have been putting out for a long time. Green pitches that actually play flat more often than not. Do New Zealand want to go result-orientated pitches and just hope that they can get the 3 wins that way? I don't know.
Surely they're just going to do the tried and tested, because England are coming at you. They know that, so you plan for that in your thought process of how you set your bowling lineup. You're going to have grass on your pitch to create bounce and a bit of carry, so behind the wicket becomes effective. Your catches are going to carry, but your batters can also score runs. You don't see much lateral movement in New Zealand, do you, really?
Not as much as you certainly used to. You get a little bit on day one, don't you? And then it usually flattens out. I just wonder if we go back to some of the older New Zealand wickets that are maybe have 2 or 3 days of lateral movement, just to say to England, we think our techniques are more solid. I mean, you look at the New Zealand lineup and you look at, Blundell and Mitchell and Conway and all these guys, their techniques are just probably more repeatable than the England batters. Do you want to test them out that way?
Better basics.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if you want to give England one of those flat wickets where they could score 450 in an afternoon and a half, because, that puts you under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, from speaking with people in New Zealand and Tommy Latham and people like that, they won't care what England do. They'll create a pitch that is best for them.
It suits them,
Yeah.
What about the England bowling attack? Because when England were there in January 2023, their bowling attack comprised of, I think, Ollie Robinson, Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad and Jack Leach and Stokes. And Stokes was bowling. Now, of course, there's still question marks over Stokes bowling, and obviously no Anderson, Robinson or Broad. The bowling attack, how big a challenge is it to go and play in New Zealand for the first time if you're Gus Atkinson or you're Bryden Carse? Chris Wokes, I don't even know if Chris Wokes has played in New Zealand before. Should probably check. He might have played in that game actually in 2018.
Yeah,
either way, it's quite a difference, isn't it?
You look at it and you say, barring a spell here and there, you're going to have to earn the right to take your wickets, because pitches generally are pretty good. Who is leading the England attack, I think, is the main question, because you've lost Anderson, Broad. Robinson led it when he played, to be fair to him. All good teams need somebody to drag everybody else with them. Where do England look? Who is the man? Is it Wokes, and can he play 3 on the bounce? If it is Wokes, it's a lot of pressure, because outside of England, he wouldn't have bowled a lot with a red Kookaburra ball, we know for fact, and his numbers wouldn't be wonderful with a Kookaburra ball. It's quite a big series for England, I reckon.
There's another point of interest, or something I found interesting. When you look at the top wicket takers from that 2023, there's only 2 tests, but Stuart Broad took 10 wickets, Jimmy Anderson took 10 wickets, Jack Leach took 10 wickets. Who do England go with as their spinner? Who's
Gareth
it going to be?
They've probably got. They want to go with Bashir because they want to back him, and because of New Zealand's left-handers, they've probably got a reasonable case to say we're going to go with the guy turning it away from the bat. What is it? Is it 3 out of the top 5 are left-handers?
Conway, Latham,
And
Ravindra.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I can see that. I suppose it's also, I know it's different kind of wickets, but seeing how he bowls away from subcontinental conditions and everything else, if he's going to develop, he should develop there, right?
Well, they've got an eye on him bowling in the Ashes,
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if they want him to go to the Ashes, you don't want him to not have bowled in New Zealand or South Africa beforehand, I would have thought.
But are you trying to win the series? Because if you're picking your best bowler, Leach is your man. Has to be.
I mean, I would probably pick Leach, but that's not... Do England try... Aren't they just trying to win morally?
I don't
You
know.
win anything.
Winning doesn't matter anymore. I'm sure I've heard them say that before.
So
It's about vibes.
So
We should do that at Surrey.
So
Mate, I could get sacked tomorrow.
we're thinking Chris Wokes opening the bowling with Gus Atkinson, Bryden Cass, or would it be Matthew Potts?
Should be Potts in New Zealand, shouldn't it?
I don't know. Potts and Wokes.
Yeah, I'd go Cass. I think he's got just a bit more energy on the ball.
Aren't Atkinson and Cass too similar as well?
Yeah, they're all a bit similar if you're being brutally honest about it.
Yeah, there's kind of 2 different types, isn't there? There's the Atkinson Cass type, and then there's the Wokes Potts type. Yeah. Look, I suppose it's not ideal. Is Turner a bolter? Is Archer a bolter?
No, because I think the team are already on the way to New Zealand.
Yeah, and
now.
also he just said he's not playing the IPL, didn't he? So, I'm thinking a Mohammed Shami type thing where Archer's like, actually, they're coming out all right over here, guys. You got a spot? But my memory of Jofra Archer is he may never want to go back to New Zealand again.
I was at that test match in Mount Maunganui when he bowled 42 overs. I mean, I can't imagine
In
you
a
bowled
row.
42 overs that often
Lara
in an innings. Yeah, maybe. The wreck.
Yeah, I mean, people scored so quickly off me. You didn't need 42 overs. The game was probably declared and done by that point.